This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
This is the Roger Stone Show, presented by Colonial Metals Group.
A man who's gone through hell, but he's kept going, and he's smart, and he's strong, and people love him. Not everybody, but people love him and respect him. Roger Stone.
Now, here's Roger Stone.
You know, folks, unfortunately, music today, at least the kind of music you hear on the radio or you hear online, most of it's created by computers. And there isn't much live, unadulterated, unfiltered entertainment out there today. Even when you hear somebody you think is a great singer, well, you know, their voice has been enhanced by computers, and what you think may be a violin or a saxophone or even a piano, well, that's really a computer. It's a little too perfect, in my opinion. Therefore, I have a great appreciation for real entertainers, real music. And last season, I was in an Italian joint in Boca, and I heard a guy named Sal Manzo. And Sal Manzo, a crooner, a vocalist, this guy blew me away. I mean, just blew me away. Now, I'm a big fan of Robert Davi. He's a great jazz vocalist. I'm a great fan of Joe Piscopo. He's still got a heck of a set of pipes. But Sal Manzo has his own style. It's an amazing style. That's why I wanted to have him back on the show to talk about the state of music today and his style, the kind of music he likes. It's the kind of music I like. It's the kind of music my mother liked. My mother came from Sicily. So, Sal Manzo, welcome back to the Roger Stone Show.
Roger, thank you for having me back. It's always a pleasure. And I heard you say, talking about your mom from Sicily, many of the songs that I perform today, my parents and my family listened to as a child, and I adapted those to my own taste. And many of those songs I heard at that time in my life when I was like 10 years old, I still sing today.
Yeah, it's the classics that I think people enjoy. I hear a song for the first time, that's great, but, I hear somebody sing Fly Me to the Moon, and it just transports me to an earlier time in my life, to an earlier memory in my life. It would be easy for me to ask you about who you think the greatest vocalist of all time is, because we both know what you would say. You have the same answer as I would. The chairman of the board, old Blue Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra. But let me do it a different way. Who do you think has been the most underrated, maybe the most underappreciated vocalist out there in the last 50 years?
There's actually, I would say there's quite a few. The first person that pops into mind, God rest his soul, is Bobby Darin. He was so extremely talented, but unfortunately for him, he died way too young. He had developed a rheumatic fever as a child, and it damaged his heart. And they said he wouldn't live to the age of 15. And look at all the magic he did up until I believe he was 37 years old. And if anybody would have been the next Sinatra, if there is such a thing, it would have been Bobby Darin.
A very, very interesting choice. I know you're working. Tell us where you're working right now.
I'm down for the season back in Florida. You could see me performing at Matteo's Italian restaurant in Boca Raton, also Casa Calabria Italian restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, and I have something special coming up in February, Roger. I know you'll be there. I am performing Sunday, February 2nd, 2025, at the studio in Meisner Park. The show is called Sinatra and Friends. I'm doing it with my friend Dave Damiani and his No Vacancy Orchestra. We're going to do a take on Sinatra. We're going to give you some of the standard Sinatra songs that everybody knows. Then we're going to do a take on some of his songs that if he were alive today, he might do it a little differently. And we're going to do those songs for you as well. So if you're a Sinatra buff and fan, I suggest you come down. It's at the studio in Meisner Park. Just go to Ticketmaster, look up Sinatra and Friends.
Sal Manzo is an act, folks, you do not want to miss. One of the most gifted entertainers I've ever heard. So, Sal, let me ask you an obvious question and a cue. And this is a hard choice. What's your favorite Sinatra song? And give us a few bars of it.
Well, I always tell people when they ask me that, it depends what kind of mood I'm in, which dictates the song that I like to sing at that particular moment. But I'm going to do one that I've fell in love with over the last 20 years. It's on his trilogy album. It was written by Peter Allen. It's called You and Me. And it's about, relationships and when they go wrong and you don't want them to go wrong, but they go wrong anyway. It's one of those type of songs. You and me, we wanted it all. We wanted it all. Passion without pain. Sunshine without rainy days. We wanted it always. Obviously, there's a little more, but I don't want to go through the whole thing.
Yeah, I understand. I just wanted to give our listeners a little snippet. A lot of people disagree about Sinatra had such a great career, and I liked actually some of his late stuff. His recording of "Send in the Clowns," for example. I heard it in a restaurant the other day, and I forgot how great that old "Blue Eyes Is Back," I think, is the album. Just really extraordinary. I don't know. I guess I would have to say it's very hard. I think "Fly Me to the Moon." So I like something a little more upbeat. I love a ballad, but I like something that rocks a little more. When you're out
me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me.
Yeah, you just can't get any better than that, folks. Sal, when you're out on the circuit, I know you take requests. What's the song that most people ask? I know they ask for a lot, but what's the song people ask for most commonly?
Well, and it's really truly unbelievable. Even in the younger set, I'm talking about people in their 20s and 30s. Out of all the different songs I sing, the majority of the people, 7 out of 10, will ask for a Sinatra song. Everybody after that, maybe a little Elvis, maybe a little stuff from the 50s, maybe a Barbara Streisand song, or Bobby Darin, or Tony Bennett. But 7 out of 10 is Sinatra. So all I could say about that is if kids in their 20s and 30s are asking for Sinatra, we have some hope in the world, Roger.
I could not agree more. By the way, Sal Manzo often performs at Cafe Palermo, one of the hosts of this show, sponsors of this show. They're at 148 Mulberry Street in New York City. They got a chicken parmesan that jumps out of the plate and bites you in the tail. I'm telling you, it's that good. So if you're looking for the best Italian food in town, they're sponsors of this show. Cafe Palermo, the absolute best. Tell Baby John that Roger Stone told you. Remember, he is the king of cannoli, so leave a tip, but take the cannoli. We'll be back with the great Sal Manzo and talk more about the state of live entertainment and also talk about the Christmas season, because there is no time more that these songs, I think, mean more to people. You're tuned in to the Roger Stone Show here on the Red Apple Audio Network, and we'll be back with more of the great Sal Manzo. Whatever you do, folks, don't touch that dial.
Hey, guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere, nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Not everyone is careful with your personal information, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the U.S. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. If your identity is stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year by visiting lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump.
They went after a guy named Roger Stone, who's sitting in the office. And I'll say this in front of Roger, he's no baby. And right now, he's cleaner than anybody in this place. No, they treated him very unfairly.
All of these presidents relied on one man to secure their seat in the Oval Office. That man is Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
This is the Roger Stone Show, presented by Colonial Metals Group. Now, here's Roger Stone.
Welcome back, folks. We're talking to Sal Manzo. Sal Manzo is an entertainer. He hails from Long Island, New York, and he's been an entertainer since his boyhood. He's played stages all across the country, from Atlantic City to Las Vegas to the prestigious Feinsteins at the Regency Hotel there right in New York City. He's a funny guy. He incorporates a little comedy with his incredibly strong vocal presence. He really is a one-of-the-kind performer. They just don't make him like Sal Manzo anymore. By the way, he's also an actor. He appeared in movies such as Appointment with Death, which was featured in the Long Island International Film Expo. You can find him at festivals, nightclubs, corporate events, private events. His recordings are outstanding. This guy can bring a tear to your eye or a smile to your face. I can't even begin to tell you how much you want to catch up with him when you see that he's advertised at any venue. Go out of your way to catch his act. The guy is incredible. As I said before the break, and I'm very eccentric and old-timey, I'm a giant fan of Al Jolson. Now, Jolson had his first hit in 1915 on Broadway. And he had an incredible career that spanned first live stage on Broadway, the first guy to take a Broadway show on the road, the first guy to make a talking movie. It's called The Jazz Singer. It's almost unwatchable. There's no real dialogue, but there is one section in which he sings. Then has an extraordinarily successful radio career. And then, of course, as the event of the crooner becomes more popular and as audio equipment becomes more sensitive, his kind of over-the-top, loud, almost Ethel Merman-like style starts to be dated and kind of corny. Then in 1950, they decide to make the movie of his life. Jolson's in his late 60s by then, can't possibly play himself. But they do ask him to go back into the recording studio and record all of his standards, and he had many. Rockabye Your Baby with a Dixie Melody. You're familiar with Are You Lonesome Tonight? Covered by Elvis, but originally a song by the great Al Jolson. Anyway, he gets into an argument with the technician who says, Mr. Jolson, you don't need to shout. You don't need to clap your hands and dance. These are the most sensitive microphones in the world, the most sophisticated. Let the microphone come to you. Jolson then has a fit, throws a wad of $100 bills down in a rubber band and said, Kid, I was a star on Broadway before you were born. Storms out of the session. Now he comes back the next morning as if nothing has happened, and he says to the 28-year-old engineer, tell me again what you were saying about having the microphone come to me. He said, Mr. Jolson, drop your voice an octave or two. It'll be warmer. And Jolson records his entire catalog right there in the MGM studios. And in 1950, he's the male vocalist of the year. Then he died in 1951. Before his death, he recorded a program with the great Frank Sinatra. I sent it to my friend Robert Davi. I also sent it to my friend Joe Piscopo. I'm going to send it to you, Sal, because he was an influence on all of these entertainers, someone I really enjoy. I'm going to throw out some other names here, and Sal, and get your impression. For example, Bing Crosby.
Before there was Sinatra, there was Bing Crosby, and at an early age, Sinatra always wanted to be what Crosby was. So that's enough for me. And he was incredibly talented as well. And they got to work together quite a few times in their careers as well.
Here's one that's kind of obvious. Dean Martin.
Smooth as silk. Tremendously gifted as well, and he's up there as far as singers that I enjoy. He's way up there with me. It's Sinatra, of course, and Tony Bennett and Bobby Darin and Dean Martin. I mean, those are the guys that are closest to my heart.
It's funny you mentioned Bobby Darin. I was listening to him just the other day and actually read about his biography and the way his career was cut short. If you haven't listened to Bobby Darin, it is well worth your time. As we go into the Christmas season, I think people particularly appreciate your style of music, the genre of music. It's a very special time, and you get to take out the Christmas catalog. What do people ask for there?
They're usually the standards. I'll Be Home for Christmas. The Christmas song, which I believe is the greatest Christmas song of all time by Nat King Cole. That's to me, that's the standard. But I also want to let you know that if you need me to sing anywhere in Palm Beach, especially over at Mar-a-Lago, I'll be there for you, Roger.
I think the president would really enjoy your style, Sal. I think that'd be a great match. The other one, of course, I have to mention Silent Night, Bing Crosby's Silent Night, probably if there is a standard. What I would really like to hear, a triple bill. That's what I like to hear. Joe Piscopo, Sal Manzo, and my friend Robert Davi. That would be a night of entertainment. That would be incredible.
I would love to do that. As a matter of fact, going back a few years ago, Joe Piscopo used to do the Columbus Day Parade in New York City, and a couple of times I sang on TV for the Columbus Day Parade, and Joe was there. So I got to meet him and talk to him. Very nice guy.
Extraordinary entertainer. I mean, you think of him as a comedian. You think of him as a great radio talk show host. He does a great show Sundays with Sinatra, but his own vocal capabilities. The guy he's an extraordinary entertainer. He's also a very, very good friend of mine. Folks, the Italian American Civil Rights League is having its Christmas celebration and their first annual awards ceremony. That's in New York City on December 15th. The Italian American Civil Rights League is a nonprofit that is dedicated to preserving the best of American Italian heritage and culture. It's an all-volunteer operation. You can find out more about not only the organization, about their great upcoming Christmas celebration by going to iacrl.org, iacrl.org. If you happen to live in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, this is going to be a night of food and entertainment and wine and celebrities and more wine that you're not going to want to miss. And it's for a good cause. I'm going to see if I can't get Sal Manzo there to belt out a few of his standards. But I want to thank Sal for joining us today on the Roger Stone Show. And Sal, there's no better way to end this. A few bars of, I don't know, you pick it, your favorite song.
Christmas time, we'll do this one. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Thank you, Roger. Merry Christmas, my friend.
God bless you, Sal. Thank you for joining us on the Roger Stone Show here at the Red Apple Network. Folks, if you got a minute, go to the App Store right now and download the Red Apple audio app to your cell phone so you don't miss any of the great programming that we produce. You will thank yourself when you do. Thanks again to my guest, Sal Manzo, one of the great live entertainers still working around the country. I'm glad that he had an opportunity to stop in and sing a Christmas classic for us. Whatever you do, folks, don't touch that dial because we'll be back with more of The Roger Stone Show.
When a shopper places an order, you have one shot at winning them as a lifelong customer. I'm Al Coe, CEO of ShipStation. I'm obsessed with ShipStation being the most reliable and efficient way you can ship. At ShipStation, our promise is to make shipping easier for e-commerce business owners. We're focused on providing the most integrations with all the places you sell and automating manual tasks to make fulfillment easier for your team. We partner with all the major carriers to make sure you get the lowest possible rates because every dollar counts. So no matter what you're sending or where you're shipping to, ShipStation can get it there fast and keep your customers happy. See for yourself how ShipStation can reduce the time and effort you spend on order fulfillment. Go to ShipStation.com to sign up for your free trial. That's ShipStation.com.